Hello everyone and welcome to the Daily Tactics Star Wars Tournament. 16 Star Wars characters from various movies will compete to find out who is the toughest in the galaxy. Each battle will be composed of various rules to make it interesting. Some with infantry only, some with weapon restrictions, or anything else you could possibly imagine. Each match will be as equal in terms of numbers and positioning as possible within game restrictions. But one thing's for sure, the warfare will be epic. So without further ado, here are this week's contestants. This week's Star Wars tournament lineup is Captain Rex versus Boba Fett. Both of these powerful warriors are highly praised by the fanbase, Boba Fett being one of the all-time favorite characters in the original trilogy, and Captain Rex being one of, if not the most beloved characters from the Clone Wars TV series. But today, they will be fighting against each other until the last man is inevitably standing. Captain Rex will be using the 501st Clone Trooper Legion, while Boba Fett has resurrected the old Death Watch army. Who will prevail? Find out in this week's Star Wars Mod Tournament right now. Hey guys, what's going on? It's ya boy, Daily Tactics here, and I hope everyone is having a good day. Today, we're going to be playing a little bit more of the Star Wars Mod Tournament that we've had going on, and if you couldn't tell from that intro, it's going to be Captain Rex versus Le Boba Fett over here. So Boba Fett has the Mandalorian Death Watch at his disposal, and Captain Rex has the 501st Clone Trooper Legion. So last time we did Commander Cody versus Thrawn in a pistols only match. Today, I thought we'd do sort of the exact opposite, where before we were doing minimalist stuff, now we're going to be doing maximalist stuff. We have all-out warfare. We have clones with ATTE tanks, TX-130T tanks, and troop carriers right here. And the Mandalorians have artillery tanks. They have their gigantic beasts of Mandalorian tanks. These are like the equivalent to ATTEs. And they also have their own troop carriers. Now they have exactly the same number of troopers. They have about 250 infantry apiece, and then the same number of tanks as well. They're going to be launching attacks at each other straight down this Naboo grassland. There is a little city over here, but I don't think there will be much fighting in here, as the army will be sort of getting out there. So yeah, most of it will be along this riverside over here in the grassland, and should be really, really fun. So without further ado, I'll be right back and we'll get this started. Alrighty then, boyos, let's go ahead and click start here, and all parties should begin their migration forward towards the battlefield. Alright, so yeah, we got the Mandalorian troop carriers gone. Here's Boba Fett himself walking forward. It's going to be so hard to find him in battle. His armor is literally the same as almost all of these guys. But we'll try our best. We'll find him. It'll be fine. Oh, we do have some runners for the Mandalorians. We're just going to stop them. You guys know this glitch is a pain in the butt, so we like to try and stop it if we can. Alright, so the first licks of battle getting on in here. Oh, Captain Rex, you're running too? Boy, come on. And it looks like these guys are runners as well. And hopefully that's it. If there are more runners, we'll stop them. Captain Rex is so far forward in this battle, I'm just gonna back him off real quick so he's okay. Alright, either way, the troop carriers for the clone troopers are pumping out their soldiers right now. A couple of them, I think, have already been hit and are down. Like, this one's not firing, but the ones in the back are rapid firing out their laser fire. ATTEs behind here, crawling up to the front of the battlefield and beginning to fire into the oncoming Mandalorians. Looks like some of these tanks have already taken some damage and gone down themselves. Lots of Mandalorian infantry going down. Here's Boba Fett. He's running around in the battle. I guess it wasn't that hard to find him. But yeah, Mandalorian tanks really rounding off their fire right now as they approach the oncoming clone trooper army. This clone transport tank went really far forward and then died, so that's kind of a shame. The clone army itself seems to still be pretty far back, farther back than most of their tanks are, which could sort of cripple their forces, but they are sticking with the ATTEs, which I feel is probably a fairly good strategy, though the ATTEs don't have any top gunners right now, so that's gonna certainly hurt them. Look, this Mandalorian artillery piece is super far forward here. It doesn't seem to be firing. Its main gun could very well be damaged. Oh, ATTE going down in the back. That's going to hurt Captain Rex's force here, an ATT going down is a dangerous thing, you know, in the midst of such a heated battle. They've still got a bunch of TX-130Ts though, which are sort of sticking to the back lines of the battle, which could actually really benefit them as they're not rushing forward and therefore they're not getting killed immediately. Though this one's hitting these statues here, which isn't exactly the most helpful thing, but you know, whatever. This gigantic Mandalorian tank is still alive. You can see where clone shells and things like that have hit it. I wonder if it's damaged out. Yeah, it does appear to be damaged. You see the little wrench there, but it's not telling me what's damaged on it. I assume maybe its left turret is damaged because I'm only seeing the right one fire. But it could be really anything. Or it could be tracked. That's another thing. I'm sort of watching to try and see what's going on with it. But yeah, it could just straight up be tracked. Or anything. You know, who knows. But at least it's slightly crippled. Alright, Mandalorian forces over here. Really getting close to these rocks. There must be a large clone force on the opposite side or something. Oh, there is a clone transport tank over here fighting away against the enemy transport tanks. Not a lot of infantry over on this side. Most of the clone infantry is really consolidating in the straight middle here, which is such a bad idea. They should spread out, but they don't seem to be doing that. There's also this whole right side of the battle over here, which it does look like Mandalorian forces are approaching the clones on the opposite side of this flat plain. Clones outnumber these guys by a lot, and I think the Mandalorians are going to suffer due to that. Though the Mandalorians do have a tank over here, it seems to be kind of busted. I wonder... Oh, it's dead, actually. It's fully dead, so this tank is just jiggling. Let's unjigglify it. Maybe? No, it doesn't want to not jiggle. Okay. Getting jiggy with it. Now, honey, on right. TKMY, all up in your eye. You gotta love Will Smith. Big Willie style. An album for the ages. Oh my god. Alright, there is actually a larger Mandalorian force over here that seems to be shooting into the side of the clone trooper force across the way, which is probably pretty devastating to the clones. But they are not really reacting to the clones over here that could just pop up over this ridge and really just take them all out, especially with like 1 or 2 good bazooka shots. So the Mandalorian should really watch out for that. I see shots going over here. There's one dead Mandalorian over here, but no, I think they're shooting at these guys, but it's sort of like going over their heads. Alright, so this battle is truly in full swing, and I really can't tell right now who's going to win this one. This could go either way. I'm not totally sure. Oh, so yeah, guys, I did release my 50K special video. Actually, this video should go out the same day that goes out. Well, it already went out. You know, I'm recording this after that went out, but I'm planning on uploading this later in the day today. So, you know, it should all coincide with each other quite nicely. Oh, this tank finally died. Finally bit the dust. But yeah, a lot of people... Oh, here's Boba Fett. A lot of people really seem to enjoy it. It was just a funny joke. Yeah, I got a lot of really positive responses on it, but there were some things concerning the video to me that I just wanted to address real quick, and that is that I do not condone the use of hard drugs. I don't do hard drugs myself. I think it is just not a good thing for your body. You know, anything addictive is just such a dangerous thing, and I don't think people should toy with it or play with that in any way, shape, or form. So a lot of people, surprisingly enough, didn't understand that it was a joke, which was kind of weird, especially because it was so overly exaggerated and things like that. So it was a little weird to see comments like, "Did you really do cocaine? Daily, I'm ashamed," or whatever. I'm like, dude, okay, if I did do it, which I would never, but like, if I did, would I really be posting it on YouTube and incriminating myself? It was also powdered sugar that I was using. And the one that made the criticism that made a little bit more sense to me was people asking, well, not really a criticism, but the question I kept getting that made a little more sense to me was when people were asking, did I actually throw up? Because that one at least is a little bit more understandable. No, that was just oatmeal. And then the blood was ketchup. So I made use of plenty of food and condiments for that video. And now I got some oatmeal that I can eat during the day today, so that's nice too. You know, there's benefits to this. Regardless, I did just sort of think it was a funny video. You know, I love to troll. I think it's that kind of edgy humor is just right up in my wheelhouse. And so I do apologize if people were actually concerned, and I appreciate the concern, but there really is no need to. It's, you know, I'm totally fine. This was not real. Yeah, don't worry. It was a joke. It was a meme. I am perfectly fine. But yeah, seriously, thank you for 50k subscribers, and I still do have that Lego set. Because I mean, the whole joke of the video was that, like, oh, I'm not gonna like turn into a crazy party animal because of 50,000 subs. Like, we're just gonna stay wholesome. And then I sit down to do this Lego set, and I quickly become the least wholesome channel in existence. And so that was like the idea of it. And so I never actually built the Lego set, but I do plan on actually doing that in the future as an actual video, because a lot of people want it. And I mean, I bought this $50 Lego set. I'm not gonna just waste my money and not build it. And people seem genuinely interested in watching that happen. So I think it's probably, yeah, gonna happen at some point soon here. So keep on the lookout for that, Bad Larry. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people did really enjoy that video, it did seem. So if you did, I'm glad. If you were concerned, there really was no need to be, and I just want to say, like, thank you guys for your concern, and I am totally fine. I thought that was actually really funny that a lot of people, like, genuinely thought I was doing all these drugs and stuff. I don't know, because, like, I don't know, it's funny. Just, yeah. Maybe the joke was in poor taste. Well, I don't really think so. I think it was just edgy kind of internet humor, and I think a lot of people got that. So I'm glad if you did enjoy it. Alright, either way, in this battle, the clones are really, they're doing well in terms of infantry, I'd say. I'd say they actually have more infantry than the Mandalorians. The only massive Mandalorian infantry area is over here right now, and they're being locked down by this thing pretty solidly. But the Mandalorian tanks are way out surviving the clone tanks. I think because the clones lost their 2 heavy-hitting ATTEs so early on, they didn't have anything powerful enough to really take out those troop transports. So in terms of tanks, the clones are doing terribly. Like, this is not going well. But in terms of infantry, they have far, far more infantry than the Mandalorians, and if they play things right, they could get a dub here from infantry alone. But then again, the Mandalorians do have this really, really nice situation going on where this is like a, basically like a hilltop defensive bunker position, and so they're able to fire down onto the clones from the outside. Oh, Boba Fett just went down. We saw him go. Oof. So yeah, they're able to shoot down at the clones on the outside, which I think is a really good position to be in from really nice setup cover. And the clones, because they didn't really rush into this area, now are sort of having to play catch up in, you know, repositioning themselves. But that being said, the clones do have far more infantry left alive than them, and they I can't say words today. They're, oh god, they're spanning a larger area of landmass in terms of their infantry. So there are definitely certain benefits and drawbacks to each of these character situations, and it'll really come down to the end here, I think, in terms of who's gonna win, Captain Rex or Boba Fett. It's down to the wire, I think, on this one, because it could go either way. I think having all these tanks left alive, though, for the Mandalorians is very, very good, and it could cost the clones quite a bit, because right now the Mandalorians do have just so many tanks left alive, which is crazy. Yeah, like all these light tanks that are just continuing to be able to pepper into the clone lines, and the problem is the clones don't have any tanks to kill these with unless they get bazooka troopers close enough. But I mean, in order to get through to these tanks with bazooka troopers, they have to go through this fortress, which has the high ground here, and then get close enough to this tank, which has all these guns, not to mention multiple tanks, they have to get through those to get a shot off too. So honestly, that might be the deciding factor in this battle here. Not to mention the clone infantry is actually going down now. Where they outnumbered the Mandalorians before, now the Mandalorians are sort of making the comeback here, just because of the sheer power of their positioning up here. They're able to kill a lot more clones, I think, because they have this nice high ground, bunker-enforced position. So it's not exactly working out super swell for the clones at the moment. Not at all. The clones do have two TX-130Ts back here that just never really went forward. So that could play into the long run here if all sort of goes well and they manage to keep those alive. And perhaps the Mandalorian tanks at the end of the day here do end up having to push forward at the clone tanks, and therefore you know, they'll get destroyed or whatever. So that could be good too. I don't know. We'll just have to sort of see how this plays out. Mandalorians coming down off of their base here. We actually got troopers in the bunker itself shooting through the mouth of this Naboo temple dude, and coming down this hill here, firing their blasters as they go. I never really liked the Mandalorian like yellow blasters. They're so like dinky. They're like pew 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 pew. Like they don't have any punch to them. They seem like fake weapons. I guess that's okay. How is this clone still alive? He's just like chilling right out in the open. He's not firing at the Mandalorians. They're not firing at him. He's just one with the battlefield. He is perfectly zen. We have actually like a large pack of clones over here hiding behind this log area and utilizing it as cover, getting a solid amount of fire out at the Mandalorians, presumably taking out a few of them as they begin to cross this river here. So they now are fully into the clone territory. There's no doubt about that. The clone positioning has been pushed very, very far back, and now the Mandalorians walk amongst the bodies of the dead 501st clones, and that was a big, I think that was a bazooka shot maybe that just hit them? Not totally sure what that was, but did result in a number of Mandalorians dying right there. But continue they do forward, and it's getting harder and harder for the clones to keep up their fire and take out these Mandalorians as they need to. So yeah, any advantage the clones really had in terms of numbers is kind of gone. They do have a little force actually over here engaging with a Mandalorian trooper, which is kind of funny. There we go. They finally got that kill. So they might be able to push in this way and maybe side flank some of these tanks. This seems to be the only one still firing, and it's still firing with this clone transport that's still alive itself. And of course, I don't think the Mandalorian tanks on the opposite side are capable of killing it. Ooh, TX-130T getting some fire out. Wait, hold up. Did you guys like move positions or something? The TX-130Ts are actually participating in the battle now. Huh. Interesting. Alright, let's see. Yeah, they're actually getting shots off at these Mandalorian forces. They could wipe out this infantry force for the clones that are still alive, and that could turn the tides here. There's been a sort of a lot of like back and forth in terms of who holds the reins to this battle, and who has superior control. And you know, there's a lot of dynamics to it. Like certain times infantry is the right thing to have in a situation, and then other times more tanks is the right thing to have, and it all depends on who has what at the right time. That sort of a thing. So very, very interesting. Very nice. Alright, either way, the Mandalorians have pushed through here and killed almost all of these clones. They totally lost their advantage, and the TX-130T stopped firing into them, really, which I think hurt them a lot. Actually, TX-130T moving out over here. Oh, man. Oh, this could be it. This could be good. Oh, yeah, take that pot shot. Oh, that was a nice one. That's a very, very nice one. And his friends over here, not really managing to get a lot of shots off, but a little bit at a time. Man, oh man. Meanwhile, the infantry over here, regardless of TX-130T incoming fire, is still attempting to encroach on the clone positioning over here. Clones still have a number of troopers, though, left alive, pointing their weapons at the Mandalorians that are cresting over where their comrades were positioned earlier. Yeah, this guy sort of rounds the corner of this troop transport and takes a ton of fire and finally dies. But then again, the clones and Mandalorians are both really, really far away, so their laser fire loses a little bit of punch at this distance, and therefore takes a little bit more to kill an individual in that case. These two are still duking it out, and that neither has a powerful enough weapon to kill the other. So this could go on infinitely. Literally infinitely. Which I think is hilarious, but oh well. And the TX-130Ts are still sort of chilling over here. This one seems to be watching over there. I don't know, it could be a lot more effective, but it's just not choosing to be so. Alright, Clone's making a good stand over here. Actually, alright, so if you look at the minimap, blue are alive clone troopers, red are alive Mandalorians. The Mandalorians have a very strong presence in terms of infantry right here, but they've taken losses here. So they've shrunk considerably, and the clones sort of surround them. They make this sort of U shape just surrounding the Mandalorian infantry with all of their forces, which is rather troublesome. Meanwhile, the Mandalorians, they have a lot of broken and like barely alive tanks over here, but their weapons still do work. So this is a problem for the clones that they're gonna have to figure out. I think all of these tanks are actually like tracked or something. So they're not like exactly effective at the moment, but their main weapons still work. So that's a concern, I think, for the clones. Either way, clone infantry still duking it out over here with the enemy. And TX-130T is actually getting more involved right now. And these other tanks are getting involved too. Yeah, there's something like broken about all these tanks. We can actually look, wait. Yeah, anything with a wrench over it means it's broken. So all these tanks are broken in some way. This one is, like, I think they're tracked, or like their turrets don't work, or their main guns don't work. So they're all just sort of shells right now with troops in them, except for the few that are like firing bit by bit. And then the clones, of course, they have this one, which is completely working fine. It's actually got 11 kills. That's not bad. Then you got the TX-130T over here, which is shield is down and its sirens are going off, so this thing could go down very soon. And you got this other one over here, which is firing away too. It's actually got 12 infantry kills and a vehicle kill, but can't seem to get the shot on that Mandalorian tank over there, which is a shame. This thing could go down very soon. Mandalorian infantry also skirmishing a little bit with some of the clone troopers. There's a few in the bushes over here, in the Naboo sort of like castle area. That's kind of fun. And then there's still, of course, this little pack over here, which is actually turning into a pretty strong fighting force because they only have to take on one Mandalorian at a time, and as the Mandalorians sort of come through round that corner, they get gunned down pretty sufficiently there. So Mandalorian infantry is losing the battle, but their tanks are certainly winning the battle. Oh my god, this thing's getting hammered right now. This tank is going to go down very soon, but it is lobbing some good shots off. Well, good, I say, as it misses by a huge, wide margin right there. You can actually see this one's smoking a little bit. So I have a feeling these tanks are probably done for. Maybe if it sort of turns into a stalemate in terms of the tanks themselves, I'll just empty out both sides' remaining tank crewmen. Oh! This tank decided to push forward for some weird reason and is now firing at the enemy tanks from a different position, even though its weapons are still not powerful enough to kill them. But the Mandalorians do have like these ones, which their weapons should be powerful enough to kill it, so that's not a great thing. TX-130T over here is now on fire. Things are crumbling for the clones currently in terms of the tank battle. Mandalorians over here seem to be doing the smart thing and just sort of waiting it out because they know once the clones run out of their tanks, then the clones are going to have to make a play on the Mandalorian tanks, and then if the infantry is still alive, they can help out a little bit during that, maybe. I don't know. This thing is actually surprisingly still alive. Look, even a Mandalorian soldier is just chilling right here and being like, I'll help, guys. Don't worry. I got this. Oh, there goes that TX-130T. Dead and down for the count. Down for the count. Alright. Clone infantry still holding over there. Oh, Mandalorian's actually pushing in a little bit. Maybe they're getting cocky because the that TX-130T went down. Looks like they're actually targeting the other TX-130T now. They're pushing forward. There's a few clone infantry troopers around here. One guy with a bazooka. Actually, all these guys have like bazookas. I guess I found where all the bazooka troopers went. They were cowering in the back lines. Okay, that one died. Is this thing still alive? How is this still alive? I'm so confused. Weird. Very weird. It's getting hit by a lot. I think... Oh no, I was gonna say I think that thing's main turret is down, but it just fired it, so... I suppose not. Alright, these Mandalorians over here finally getting fully engaged with the clone infantry here. Firing away. Very nice. There you go, they're getting some kills. The Mando's also getting some kills. Very good, very good. I like. Alright. It's good to see the combat still sort of keeping up and keeping consistent during this battle, because, you know, sometimes during the battles they run into these stalemates come end times like this, and it just kind of slows to a crawl, and you're like, ugh, come on. But if there's constant fighting, I'm always up for it, you know. I think it's cool to watch. So they're just sort of duking it out right now. Mandalorian's definitely having the raw end of the deal here, as they're totally failing at killing any of these clones, and they themselves are getting killed. So that clone infantry succeeds in its mission there. Oh, this TX-130T is now on fire itself. This could be the total end of clone tanks if this thing dies. Oh, well, there's still this one up here, which is so weird that it's still alive. I don't know how these things are still alive. They build them like Nokia phones, I guess. Basically. Boom! Alright, so this tank over here is getting pegged, but it itself is still alive and still firing at that TX-130T in the distance, and that was the kill shot right there. Skadoosh. It is gone, baby. Gone, gone, gone. Alright, so there's still clone infantry alive, but this is the only vehicle, per se. And none of these vehicles seem to be able to kill each other. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna say whatever, and we're just gonna unload every Mandalorian vehicle of all of its troopers, and so that way, and every clone vehicle too. That way it's just infantry, and this actually evens out the infantry. So look at all the Mandalorians actually. So now I'd say the Mandalorians and the Republic are even right now. Oh, we got a little skirmishing between the tank crew that just bailed out and some of these ground Mandalorians over here. Actually, the Mandalorians just slaughtered those tank crewmen. Poor guys. So yeah, if you look at the minimap, you can see all the Mandalorians in red and all of the Republic in blue, and it does appear that things have evened out now that I bailed out those tanks. So I'm gonna say it's okay. I didn't really want to do that. I'd rather have the tank battle keep going, but it was clear that neither was gonna get any kills on the other. So there really wasn't a point in keeping that tank battle going. Either way, Mandalorian sort of investigating over here. The clones haven't really went over this ridge here, so they haven't started this last sort of engagement yet. But I imagine they will very, very soon. Like I said, very even playing field at the moment. Same number of Mandalorians, roughly, as clone troopers. This battle could end up going either way. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The clones are investigating something over here. There we go. Oh, first shot's getting fired here. Looks like, yes, the clones finally have spotted the Mandalorians. They do have the high ground, but it does seem like the Mandalorians have more troopers in a solid mass out there. So that means that they'll be more effective in eliminating clones, but the clones will have the high ground advantage and the positioning advantage. They obviously have more cover here than the Mandalorians below. So really this battle could go either way still. It's anyone's game. Boba Fett could win this, or Captain Rex could win this. Very, very nice. Very interesting. Alright. So these guys pushing forward. Actually, the Mandalorians being very cocky with their plays right now and sallying forth nicely, actually. Gotta give these boys in green props. They're doing it, and they're actually getting clone kills here. Oh, who's this over here? There was a Mandalorian over here, apparently, and he's shooting into the sidelines of the clone, sort of disrupting what they're doing. He's taking a lot of shots. Okay, he did finally go down. That was weird. These must be like SMG clones? No, they're rifle clones. I don't know how he lived for so long there. So that was a bad engagement for the clones. That really hurt them. Not to mention, actually, there's Mandalorians over here who seem to have killed a bunch of the last remaining clones on this left flank. And now there's a mass of Mandalorians going straight down the middle towards these last remaining clones. The clones sallying forth to meet them. They're not babies. They'll fight, you know? They're good soldiers. They'll keep the battle going, but it may be futile. That guy died. Yeah, this one might be going to Boba Fett here. The clones started out really strong in this tournament, and lately they've been getting a lot of losses, I gotta say. There's a grenade. I don't know what it is with the grenades lately, but they've been really making the lag come out. It's strange. Yeah, you see, it lags when the grenades come out, but then once they go away, the lag goes away. It's kind of funny. These clones holding the bottom lines over here. As the Mandalorians sort of crest over the hills, they get shot by a multitude of clone fire. Oh yeah. Bada bing. Yeah, look at that. Those Mandos going down. Clones managing to get some kills here. This could be a good position, actually, to make a clone final stand, since the Mandalorians have to expose themselves over the hill in order to get them. But they're actually shoving themselves forward in mass. The clones aren't able to kill a ton of them, and actually a few of the clones are even retreating back into the bushes again before inevitably getting cut down. So, oh, and they're getting pincer movement over there. Yeah, this is a bad one. This is Sayonara clones. There's 4 troopers remaining in the city here. Of course, they're all bazooka troopers. Let's just run them forward because they're actually not going to be able to do anything. So, yeah, we'll get these bazooka troopers. Come on forward. We're forcing them forward. Of course, they could put up a fight, but like, we're just forcing them into action, basically. All right, there you go, buddies. Do your thing if you want to. No, do whatever you like. All right, here they come, bazooka troopers. Oh, he chooses to use the pistol. That was a unique choice, I guess. There you go. Someone's using their bazooka. But he missed, so it didn't really help. There you go. They got a kill there. Literally disintegrated the dude. Oh yeah, this guy knows what's up, though he is dead. Alright. And there's one more clone. But in all fairness, it's fight till the end, so. Wait, it says there's 2 more clones? Where's the other guy? There's another guy right here. I didn't know that. Okay. Of course, he's another bazooka trooper. Alright, here we go. So we're sending out this guy. Forcing him to go out. Forcing him basically to his death. But I mean, there's like 30 Mandalorians left, so 2 clones, there's not a chance in heck that they're killing that many Mandalorians, you know? Alright, so here comes this boy. Boy. These Mandalorians didn't actually see him, I don't think. He crossed into the threshold. Alright, let's get this over with here. There you go. And, yeah, these Mandalorians are... Yeah, they killed him. How about you, buddy? There you go. Yeah, he'll get shot to death. Alright, so Boba Fett did end up winning this, but it was really close at the end there. Even after I did take them out of their tanks, the Mandalorians still won. So even if I had left them in there, the clone infantry likely would have died by tanks. There were so many tanks. So a well-fought and well-deserved victory by the Mandalorians. But the clone troopers, Captain Rex did put up an excellent fight. You can see the battle statistics here. Yellow are dead clones. Red are dead Mandalorians. And as you can see, just a slaughter everywhere. Brutal battle. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Comment and subscribe if you did. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.